All right. So talk to me about you know, just the feeling of having your mother here and this whole performance that you're doing today. Just let me know how you feel about that.
First off, I'm blessed, and I thank God for giving me, you know, an opportunity to see my mom. Me and my mom live two totally different sides, you know, of the United States, and I don't see her every day. And for her to see me like this is something that I always wanted. And I ain't even trying to get all teary-eyed or nothing, but you know, it's really been one of them experiences for me that it's touching my heart and my soul for my mom to see what I worked so hard for, and I just want to make sure that I give the best effort that I can when I'm on stage and leave nothing. You know, sometimes you go out and people do things and they be like, you know, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I'm not going to be like that. My mom told me when I was a young boy not to be one of those guys on the corner saying that, oh, I could have did this or I should have did that. So when she told me that, I listened, and I was real young when she told me that. And that's how I live my life. So right now, I'm living with exactly what I want to do and what I want to be, which is a superstar. And I'm going to take my talent to the next level. And with my mom by my side. You know, a lot of other rappers and people, they don't have their moms. You know, a lot of people's moms passed away and stuff. So I'm definitely grateful to have my mom by my side right now. So,
all right. That's
she
good.
was 15 when she had me. I know y'all looking at her like, that ain't your mom. She was 15 when she had me. And, you know, back in, you know, 1980, I know it was probably hard for a 15-year-old to even carry a baby and have one. And, you know, it's all good. That's the bells.
All right. Keep on going. You were saying.
No, I was saying in 1980, my mom had me. And another thing that me and my mom share is that my birthday, when I was born, it was on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So.
And not only that, 4 days of labor. As a 15-year-old in labor for 4 days, and all the adversity I had to overcome, and all the stigmas I had to overcome. Then for you to come and make an entrance.
Haroon.
Oh, out here.
And then for you to make an entrance the way you did, you know, 4 days and just a constant struggle, and then for you to come out and be born on Mother's Day made a statement. It's like, you know, I'm here, and Stephen has always had greatness in him. He, you know, born into a situation where he was at a disadvantage, being born to 2 teenage parents, but he overcame all of that. You know, all the stereotypes of not being able to do and not being able to have, especially coming up in a city like Philadelphia, where he's an overcomer, and he had to go through a lot of adversity, even though he came from really good parents. You know, inside of Stephen is something that you don't find in just the average person. I'm not saying it because it's my son. I'm saying it because it's the truth. He has something about him that attracts other people to him and holds them captive to him, the audience, if you will. And he's always been like that. From when he was 2 on stage dancing, pop locking with us, 3 playing the drums, 4 at the barbershop with Eric B and Rakim and them. You know, so he's always been front center, and I say you have angels watching over him. So
and I have another question. I have another question for you. In your time, you know, you were in the era that pioneered hip hop in those days, the dance and the pop locking, and then his father was DJing. Can you explain how the passing of the torch came about, and how he what things he took from you and his father to make him who he is today?
Now, you know, we were young at that time, and a lot of times when you have children, you don't realize children are sponges. You put them in an environment, and just us putting Stephen in that environment got into Stephen. And so by him going to the dance practices with me in rehearsals and having to sit there and listen to all the different beats and things we were dancing to and things we were trying, and then sitting there at his father's knee while his father was mixing on that Gemini mixer, and Treacherous 3 here, and all of the different beats that your daddy was experimenting with. I think it just all became part of who Steven is. It wasn't that we just passed the torch. It's just that he came up and that's who he was. He just became the environment that we exposed him to.
Okay. And okay, so S5, can you explain the connection between your East Coast experiences and your West Coast experiences, and how that created the person that you are, the artist that you are? Can you explain the East Coast influences and also the West Coast influences?
Well, my mom moved to California in '92, and when she moved there, I was sad. Like, I was so sad when she moved, and I would come visit her like every summer. When I was 13, I came out here in the summertime, and 14. When I turned 15, I couldn't take it no more, and I said, I'm gonna stay over here. But as far as the influence that it gave me, I was exposed to two totally different cultures, because the East Coast it's a concrete jungle out there, and when my mom had me in San Diego, it wasn't a concrete jungle. It was different, but I loved it. I adapted to my surroundings. I was places they told me E40 was better than Biggie Smalls and stuff like that. I'm like, I couldn't believe that, because I'm coming straight from, it was a culture shock. But I think the most important thing that the West Coast did for me was touch me spiritually, because I got baptized when I was 17 years old. And it's, ironic I say that because my little brother and sister just got baptized this morning, today. And, they're younger generation. My mom, her and her husband, they have my little sister and brother, Jayla and Cameron. But as far as the influence musically, I feel as though it's like apples and oranges, and I just might have came out of banana or something. Like, that's really what I can say, because the East Coast is a totally different flavor. I went to the Bat Cave and I recorded my music. I was sleeping in the studio, didn't have any money, barbecuing every day.
Albertsons chicken.
My mom would come and hook me up and bring me Albertsons. I know y'all know what Albertsons is. 8 pieces, the 2 sides, Hawaiian rolls, and a 2-liter Coca-Cola.
But you know what a carne asada burrito was?
Oh, that changed my life. I hold carne asada. See, the West Coast is carne asada and the East Coast is the cheesesteak. So it's like, those two things influenced me too. Even the food, the weather, like, the women, everything just opened my eyes. It was totally different in the West Coast than the East Coast. But my mom, she always made sure that I was safe and I was in a comfortable environment, and I did what I had to do in school. Mm-hmm. So she always stressed my education. Like more than anything. So I had to get up, go to church. She would throw water on me if she had to. Throw anything. Wake up, boy, you going to church. And I'll go to Mount Airy Baptist Church. And Reverend Wells, Pastor Wells, he is a very big inspiration to me as well. He helps me in the guidance of my spiritual life. And my family back east, everybody's in the Nation of Islam and Muslim, so it's a different. They're strict though over there. Like my family is more strict, but I kind of like look at them with respect. But I know what my religion is, and I believe in Jesus Christ.
So let me ask you another question. So you're here today to perform at the this Hip Hop International
World Hip Hop International Dance Championship Battles.
So how does that make you feel right now? I mean, in your heart, like where do you feel right now, like in your heart about this show and the steps that you took to get here, the practice that you took to get on the stage and perform in front of the world right now? I mean, what is that?
I can say one word. It's monumental. Monumental, man. It's like something that you don't, like an average guy or a kid from Philly wouldn't do nothing like this.
Right.
You know, we don't get these type of opportunities.
Yes,
but through the sacrifices that I've made, leaving my mom's house and being on my own, not, you know, having to eat some days and just struggling to be, I call myself a starving artist the other day, and that's what, you know, what I am.
That's true. I gotta remind you to go get some food to eat sometime.
Yeah.
We in the studio.
Yeah, so it's like I'm really just focused on the big picture, which is getting my music out to the masses. And you know, my mom told me, she just told me today, and she always tells me to aim for the moon, because even if I miss, I'm gonna still hit the stars.
There it is.
So, you know, I have really big dreams, and a lot of people really don't know the extent of my passion for music, but I live it. That's why they be like, how can you get on stage and do it? Because I live it. It's something that happens not so often to a lot of people, but I've been exposed to music all my life.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and I live it. I sing in the shower.
So what do you
I bang on the desk.
So what do you want to say to the people out there, like the young kids who's trying to do this for the first time, and this is their dream? They want to be a rapper and they want to get out there and do this. What kind of advice do you have for them? You know, in terms of this lifestyle and getting out there and doing this?
Well, for one, I would just say put God first, and because a lot of things aren't going to happen when you want it. So just know that it's something over you that's pushing you forward, and it's a higher power. It's not you, and that's why I really believe that this isn't my day. This is God's day, and it is. It's Sunday. So, you know, I feel as though, as well, honor your parents, you know, love your mom. And if you're real serious about your craft, practice.
Say that last line one more time.
No, I said if you're real serious, like you said for the up-and-coming artists, if you're real serious, you have to practice every day. Practice makes perfect. That's what they say. And you have to be dedicated, and you have to make sacrifices. So I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life, and I believe that that's the reason why, you know, as well with other things, that I'm in a position that I'm in right now.
All right.